What a beast. He's versus Doinb too. All right, we need to strap up here. We need to strap up because we got ourselves a nice review ahead of us. All right, so it seems like we picked the classic setup with zombie ward rather than the other one, flat health. All right, so let's see. This is an interesting matchup, actually. Takes at level 3, he takes E, so not 2 points Q, and he actually starts Rocket Belt into Lich Bane. Let's take a look. That would make him very tanky early on. It's cheap too. It's good probably. Let's take a look how he plays the waves. He hits one melee first, then plays for a Q into another. Oh, into an insta Q. Ooh, that was nasty. That was good. Very little damage though. Wow, that was cocky. Okay. Yeah, early levels can be somewhat tricky into Yasuo. Especially since our energy just doesn't allow us to do much. So I really respect his... Holy shit. This guy is absolutely trying to skill check Doinb here, and it's working too. Look how he weaves those autos in. That's impressive. That's something I can do much better versus melee champs. Okay, I like how he sits back a little bit on the wave. Pretty sure he hit almost every creep. Yeah, he missed only one. Just one of the first. Very good Q. Look how swiftly he dodges those Yasuo nados. And he just weaves those auto attacks in. This guy is incredible on this champion. Alright. Very nice CSing as well. Like, this matchup should start to shift a little bit, like, whenever we had a few more points in queues, like starting level 5. Sometimes even like 7. That's when this matchup really starts to shift and Yasuo starts to struggle. Because Yasuo cannot really... Yasuo cannot really knock up us and ult. He can never really get an ult off if we played well. So interesting that Zeka decides to go for a hard shove on this wave. Probably expecting Yasuo to go for a roam or a reset. And it seems like it works out. So Viego actually kills the Yasuo miraculously. I don't know how he does that. Viego 1v2. Of course he did. Alright, so that's very nice because Yasuo now missed the full wave. We haven't done a reset yet, so we can extend our base a little bit since we're full on resources. Waves pushing into us. We're in a very happy position here. Let's see what he does here. Is he going to actively... Yeah, he's actively looking to contest a little bit the Yasuo and try to trade into him. Very nice E, actually. Really good W usage. He doesn't queue up on the back end because Yasuo still has wind wall. That would lose him a lot of energy. He's absolutely smurfing on every Yasuo Q3. He's dodging every single Yasuo Q3. It looks like this guy's scripting, actually. If I would be the Yasuo, I would actually think this guy's scripting here. I don't know if he's gotten hit by his... Oh, never mind. He lost the cannon. Whatever. Never mind. Never mind all that I'm saying. He got the other creeps, though. Is he going to hard shove? It seems like he's hard shoving again. So it's interesting. I think the only reason he opts in for a hard shove here is because of the fact that he's got TP. So he doesn't really care if Yasuo freezes it. Nice ability usage. And the main reason why as well is because Yasuo was half HP here. So Yasuo couldn't really hold it because then he'd be stuck in lane with Zeka TPing back. So we get alternator. What do we get? Alternator refill maybe? Alternator at level 5. Especially with the changes to electrocute and now him running cut down. Basically means that whenever he reaches level 6, he gets a one shot. If he lands his E. If he lands his E, he can just 100 to 0 the Yasuo. By the way. Look at that. No R, by the way. This is no R and he absolutely murders the Yasuo. Let's see what he does with the wave. Okay. Very good Q. He weaves those cheeky Qs in as well. And I love his positioning. Really pressuring the Yasuo here of this wave state. He doesn't really want to commit to an all-in because of the fact that Braum is there. Most likely Yasuo will survive here. They're just zoning him off the wave. That's the goal. Denying him the cannon. Very good block by the Bard. As you can see, that Q damage is absolutely through the roof. And with this wave state, Yasuo is like practically fucked because he cannot unfreeze it because of how strong that Zeka is. Wow. He's kind of just... Wow. Incredible laning, actually. That's absolute immaculate laning here. He really puts the Yasuo in a position where he just cannot play anymore. And it's this Doinb on Yasuo, by the way. This is not a random Yasuo. This is very impressive. So let's see what else he does with the wave. Just keeps it in the position. He still's got his R ability. He's got the Hextech Alternator, which is like the #1 big spike on Akali. And especially with the changes to the runes, this is like also why he's running Electrocute. Like Fleet Akali is pretty dead right now. It's pretty dead. We're mainly running Electrocute because it helps with these all-in kill opportunities, especially with the Akali buffs, right? The all-in threat at level 6, as you can see with the cut down damage, the damage just gets so unbelievably high. It all synergizes so well that I think with the Akali buffs, this champion is actually low-key probably broken. Yeah, she's probably broken. I really like his positioning. He's like being so incredibly disrespectful. And he hits every Q, dude. This guy hits every Q. The spacing is insane. If you can deny Doinb the cannon, that's really wild. And you can see in the CS difference, right? It's really starting to rack up. Let's see what he does with this wave state. I think he's gonna hard crash this one. Yep. Looks like he's hard crashing this one. And a very small detail what he does here is he hard crashes the one and he does it late. And the reason why he does it late so that the wave bounces back into him. If he would have hard crashed the wave earlier, wave would have went out back to neutral. But what he wants to do is he kind of wants to keep the wave on his side here. And in this case, he's actually not playing for the bounce back because of the fact that he's taking amazing trades into Yasuo. So that also works. Ooh, really risky here. I think if Yasuo ulted there, not much would have happened, but maybe we would have lost a little bit of health. We don't see the wind wall, actually. That's interesting. So it seems like he's playing for the Proto Belt spike. And he's just constantly contesting Yasuo on... he's constantly contesting Yasuo on these creeps. So let's see what he does here. He's just hard pushing this wave. Getting himself unplayed. He really is close to a spike. You can see it in the way that he's playing. Otherwise, he would take the reset right there. But in this case, Braum is being a little bit annoying. That's fine. And the reason why we're allowed to stay, right? That's a really important point to make. Is the reason why we're allowed to stay is because we're so far ahead of the Yasuo. We can completely control the tempo because one small reset from the Yasuo does not change much here. And that's what makes this amazing. So he takes one more wave, opts in for the reset. Oh, and he actually... Wow, he buys the Lich Bane, then sells it for the Proto Belt plus boots. Why does he do that? I would have won Lich Bane here. Maybe Proto Belt is just too good. I'm not sure. Let's continue. Let's see how he closes this game out. Nice yesing. He's really tanky. You can see the buffed Proto Belt. It's actually really strong. So what's he gonna be doing with the waves now? What's gonna be his general plan? Is he just gonna resort to hard shoving every wave? Looking to constantly pressure. Maybe he's looking for roam windows. I'm kind of curious. It seems like in this particular case he gets himself a nice little plate. And he's not shy of contesting the Yasuo still right here. Really pushing his lead here in this lane. Absolutely stellar Qs, constantly putting pressure onto the Yasuo. And Doinb really just doesn't have a way back into the lane. So he slow pushes this wave, at least initially, until he gets a very good Q, hits the rest of the wave, and now hard pushes it. Seems like he's just hard crashing every single wave right now. Main reason, so he can contest Yasuo onto the creeps here. As you can see, He contests Yasuo on every caster. Always contest on the casters in on the third, guys. So also right here, he's playing to hard crash, mainly because his Viego is going to be on the grips. I think if Viego would not be doing grips, I think he would slow push this one into a hard crash the next one. I think that would be the play, because that way you deny Yasuo a little bit more creeps. Oh, he's actually... Whoa! He just all-in him. Let's replay this. Wow. So he fishes for the E. Protobelt R1, E2. Interesting combination. So he would not have won this if he didn't fish for the E. So he fishes for the E onto the last hit. And Protobelt R1, E2. And seems to be like plenty of damage to actually kill off the Yasuo. That's a fantastic E. That's perfect ability usage, by the way. That's what you'll see with Zeka Akali. Ability usage is just going to be perfect. And that's the thing with this champion, right? Is this champion is so micro-oriented that your ability usage is going to be a big factor on how good that you're actually going to be on this champ. If your ability usage is going to be flawless, you can even get so far to the point that you may be making shit plays, but because you hit every ability and you're good at fighting on this champ, you'll still win games. Of course, at the highest level, you need to combine both the micro and the macro aspect. But yeah, Akali is definitely a champion where micro matters, even though it goes hand in hand. You cannot just go ahead and rock up with the Akali without having a single clue of what our abilities do or how to use it optimally. And that's really where the skill cap of this champion also lies. So it seems like we move on top. We still got teleport up. Dragon's coming up as well. Nicely on the opposite side of the objective. We really like to be split pushing. Akali is the side lane queen. And another thing to really keep in mind is that we don't want to be matching the K'Sante. The K'Sante is a tanky fucker. We don't want to be matching any tanky fuckers because we're not going to be making much progress versus them. So ideally we keep matching the Yasuo since we have full pressure, 2 levels up. And we can utilize this pressure that we have in the side lane to possibly find a play onto the dragon right here. I am positive that there is going to be a team fighting the Drake. And I think best thing to do is to actually fully contest Drake. I think red side should play the Drake here. And I think it's also up for Zeka to play there. So let's break this down. This seemed a little bit like ego 1v1 to me. So let's take a look how he uses his ability. So he starts with W. He misses the E. R1, E, Protobelt. Holy, it's too fast. He kind of inted completely here, by the way. But let's slow it down a little bit. So he starts with Q, procs the shield. He then W's Q, E. Not sure if he hits the Q. Then he R1s. Wait, it's actually really fast. There's the wind wall. He's really good at weaving those out attacks in. Yasuo barely didn't have flash. So I think he hits the out attack or the Q. And then we need to make it even slower. So he dodges the Nado. R1. Auto attack. E. Q. Protobelt. R2. Fascinating how he gets that auto attack off so quickly after the R1. I don't know how he does that so fast. Yeah, R1 passive auto. Very strange. That's really fast. I think what he does is he preemptively channels it. I need to try that out in practice still. He preemptively buffers it probably. So, in reality, really sexy outplay in the 1v1. But honestly, we probably shouldn't have done this. And we should have just rotated towards the dragon. I think that would have been a little bit better. And what happens right here is that I think we do get the dragon here, but it does seem like there's a little bit of a fight breaking out. Our team doesn't really win the fight. And if we had R here, would be an absolute game changer on this fight. But since we don't have R, we only get 1 kill on the Cassante. So I don't like really killing the 0-3 Yasuo on top, but doesn't really matter because he's so far ahead that he can be a little bit disrespectful like that. But I think in reality, it's not the best play. So let's see what he does here. He lands the E2. It seems like he doesn't take the E2. He's now on bot lane. Opposite side once again. I think that's good. Matching the Yasuo. I personally would walk up here. And maybe that's not good. So let's break this down here. Let's pause a little bit. So we got the Herald here. Maybe it's not good to walk up. I think walking up is actually not good. It's good that he stays in bot, because if we walk up towards Herald, we get the Herald for sure, but then Yasuo can actually counter and get the tier 1 bot, and it puts him back in the game. So I actually think walking up is not good. I think it's good that he tries to leave his team to do the dirty work, so to say, and contest the objective. It sucks that he's forced to use the TP beforehand, but his team should be able to manage this fight. And therefore I think it's fine he stays bot, because he can constantly put the Yasuo under pressure here. He constantly puts the Yasuo under pressure. And he lands the E1. And then he's just able to brute force the tower, because it seems like the Yasuo actually TP'd towards top. And therefore they lost the Herald. So really good play by Doinb actually, trying to get back into the game. Forcing a temporary man advantage on the top side. But that does mean that Zeka now has the complete control of bot here. And he denies Yasuo some more minions. Really nice Q into E. Very sexy, dodging out on the tower shot as well. So that's something I need to implement a little bit more. Compared to, for example, LeBlanc Wing you under tower and then backing off. I think if you time it properly, you can do a Q into E without taking a tower shot. That's a game changer. I never really thought about that. It's a really big game changer versus melees, especially once you hit like level 7, when your Q is going to be dealing big damage. And the E, if you hit it with sudden impact as well, is actually a pretty decent chunk. So right here tries to go for the all-in, but it seems like Yasuo wind walls the E, so a little bit sloppy E. I think he doesn't necessarily need the E as well to kill the Yasuo, so I think if he doesn't need it, E becomes really unnecessary, and a little bit of an in-play here. Really big in-play. Massive in-play, look at that. Yeah, so team was playing top side, he was playing forcing bot side. Seems like he was just disrespecting the enemy team here. And ideally what he does is he just backs off, rotates towards mid after pushing the wave, and then they get the top out there. So sometimes some macro decisions that I think could sometimes be a little bit better. Overall, it's still really good. But I think we see why this guy is so incredible on this champion, right? His micro execution is next level. So we got the Lich Bane now. We're absolutely rolling. And from this point, we can just stack dragons. As you guys can see, we are in a position where we already have 2 drakes. We got 2 items. Jin's got 2 items. We can just easily stack the 3rd dragons into win condition. Realistically speaking, with the dragon coming up in 10 seconds, we just want to take the dragon right now, then start shifting our pressure up towards the top side, really pressuring the top side area of the map. Main goal for Akali this point in the game, taking advantageous skirmishes. And with the advantage that they have team-wise, that should not be too hard. So in this case, he actually goes top and he TPs top. Yeah, that's a little bit tricky, because what you see is that the enemy actually gives the dragon and plays top, and it puts them in a pretty awkward position. That was very sexy. Holy moly. That was insane micro again. Let's break this one down. So, initially, nice Zonias onto the Zyra. Knock up here. And insta R1 into E. Using the Protobelt to get behind the Zyra and R1 out. Very, very good. So let's slow this down as well, just to see the micro execution. R into E, E2, out attack, Protobelt, Q, R out. He out attacked the cannon minion in the meantime as well. That's to make up for the cannon minion that he lost under tower a few minutes ago. And from this point, it's actually really easy. Both Zyra dead, Yasuo's dead. The enemies are actually in a full devoid of pressure. And as you can see, he's level 15. Skirmishes are really, really easy at this point in the game. And they take the skirmish right here into the enemy jungle. Let's actually look at the micro execution on this one before we finish it off. Nice E. I like how he held it. We don't have W, so we gotta wait. Ooh. Nasty E, dodging out on the Zyra R damage. And eventually also getting the Brown with the Electrocute. Very nice. Leading into the FF of the enemy team. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys have any questions, let me know.